Good evening, Brooks.
Good evening, B-Dub.
Or it's not really even evening; it's just night.
Yeah,
Um,
it is nighttime.
Although we're not saying good night yet, we'll say that at the end of the episode. But it's Thursday night. Divisional action is coming down on Saturday. By the time this episode is released, it will probably be late Thursday night or early Friday morning. So yeah, got four NFL games to watch. Um,
hmm
and one college football national championship.
On
Brooks.
Monday.
Yeah,
On Monday.
that's right. How are you doing?
It's been a very kind of like crazy week for me this week, man. So the fact that we can ride into the weekend with some football to look forward to, because you know this is a very I feel like this is not a hot take actually. I
Mm-hmm.
feel like February is one of the worst months of sports.
Fair. Yeah. No.
Right after the Super Bowl ends, it's like, it's
Yeah.
so
Yeah. No. That's fair.
yeah.
But yeah, before we jump into it, we've had a lot of action happen between last episode and now. We've had some firings, some hirings. That's really about it. Brooks, is there one of the something in that kind of range that you want to shout out, spread some light to, or just give your opinion on?
Well, should we start the episode or should we start shouting out names?
Well, let's shout out some names.
For coaches, I
Well,
can
I'm just
shout out some
well, I'm just
names.
saying, is there a firing or a hiring or any other sort of move that you want to shed some light on, or just talk about, or that you disagree with?
Um, ooh, that could be. I am going to give a shout out to the Washington Commanders.
Okay.
I like that they kept Dan Quinn, but they fired both their coordinators. That's my opinion. I like the move, and they're already looking at some names. Cliff Kingsbury could be one. Maybe the offensive coordinator left. Uh, right? That's position. They had interviews with Mike McDaniel, right? They've had interviews with I think some good names that could fill that defensive side as well.
Mm-hmm.
So I kind of like the Commanders just for that decision. That's one I want to shout out. I know shout out firing is crazy, but shout out just for keeping Dan Quinn. That's all I'll say.
Okay. Yeah, I like the Giants. I'm sure as you saw today, hired John Harbaugh, bringing in Todd Monken as well for the OC. Ravens need a whole new staff at this point. That should be a pretty desirable destination for whoever they're looking at. So we'll keep our
Mm-hmm.
eye there. But the biggest thing, Mike Tomlin is officially announced that he is stepping down as the Steelers head coach. And we sat here, we had a long, long conversation about his tenure with the Steelers and how successful that is. But we'll take the time now to just congratulate him on a long career with the Steelers. I'm sure he'll be back in football at some point, but the reports are sounding like he'll take a year off. And yeah, we'll see where he goes from there. But not a single losing season, but not a ton of postseason success to show for it. So we'll see where he ends up. And now the Pittsburgh Steelers are in looks for a new head coach. I find it funny though, Brooks, because they're looking for a head coach, and a guy you're very familiar with, their current OC, is also getting some head coaching looks. I think the Titans, and there was another team that I forget, maybe the Cardinals, that were talking to him earlier today. I see you.
Do not do it. Do not do it. Do not do it.
You don't think Arthur Blank's got it back after a season with Aaron Rodgers?
Arthur Blank or Arthur Smith? Arthur Smith.
Smith, yeah,
Yeah,
sorry,
yeah,
that's what I
yeah, yeah,
meant.
yeah. I was like, if you're saying Arthur Blank should bring him back, no. And there's actually an inside source on maybe who the Falcons' next head coach is.
Mm. Do tell.
Do tell, I will. Clint Kubiak, I think, is going to be the next head coach of the Atlanta Falcons. There's a lot of reasons why.
It's a good
Um,
shout. I like him a lot.
First of all, I can give a couple reasons. He comes under the Shanahan tree. He was part of that. It comes under the Kubiak tree, straight with the lineage. He has direct relation to Matt Ryan, the new guy in the building for the Atlanta Falcons, kind of running the whole operation now as the president um, of the team. Um, and the Falcons have not made themselves kind of that lead push for someone. I think if they wanted Kevin Stefanski, they would have really already gone out and got him
Mm-hmm.
because I think the Falcons I genuinely think that the Falcons and maybe even the Giants were more desirable head coaching spots than the Steelers and the Ravens. I genuinely do, just because of the young pieces there, and just because, especially with the Falcons, the competition there.
Mm-hmm.
So I think the Falcons are sitting back, waiting on the Seattle Seahawks their thing. What is it called? Their season to be
Mm-hmm.
over, and Clint Kubiak putting on the head coaching role for the Atlanta Falcons.
Yeah, that'd be a good fit for sure. I think Atlanta definitely needs someone on the offensive side of the ball when it comes to the head
We definitely need an
coach.
offensive-minded guy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I like that a lot. So yeah, we'll just keep our eyes open on the ever-changing NFL coaching landscape. Now, we will jump in to this weekend's games, starting with the Bills and the Broncos, the Buffalo Bills and the Denver Broncos. Brooks and Mile High Stadium. What do you think of this game?
Is it weird that this game's a 1-point spread?
Yeah, kind of.
You think it's weird in what way? That the Bills should be favorites or that the Broncos should be higher favorites?
I think the Broncos should be higher.
That's my thing. Is I'm really just again, this is me speaking here. The Broncos went 15-2 this season.
Yep.
15-2
Or
this
no,
season.
14-3.
Or 14-3?
Yeah.
14-3. That's right. I was like 15-2 does not sound right because I feel like I really remember that. 14-3. And their losses, they've had some really close losses, but their wins have been really close as well. So maybe that's why. But we're talking about a team that's the number one seed in the AFC in Mile High Stadium, by the way.
Mm-hmm.
And you have to go play the 6 seed team and you're a 1-point favorite. It just feels so weird. Feels so weird. Um, of course, this Bills team beat the Broncos last year in the playoffs. That was when the Bills were the 2 and the Broncos were the 7. So it's kind of almost a flip here. 5-spot difference,
Yep.
just one moving up each. Um, I'm trying to think of a way I can put this without spoiling the game, but I first of all, we spoke about this last episode. If RJ Harvey does not get at least 12 plus touches on the ground, we need to talk to the Broncos because this rushing attack of the Bills is horrible and teams have exposed it. Actually, I was going to say the Ravens since week 1 of the Ravens with Derrick Henry when he had over 200 yards rushing,
Hmm.
and it's just been an issue ever since week 1. Travis Etienne, Tuden as well had big games on the ground against the Bills, over 100 yards rushing, and that's what they should have done more often. I expect to see RJ Harvey get some more carries. Maybe Bo Nix have a little bit more with his feet in the pocket, especially stepping up. Baron, I'm split on this game, and that's why Vegas has it split as well. My heart is telling me the Broncos.
Mm-hmm.
My head is telling me the Bills.
Um, I'm interested to see how much the time off Broncos starters will affect this game. Remember, they rested their starters week 18, so their starters haven't played in 2 full weeks. Obviously, there's a lot more evidence to support rest is better for football, but still, you get out of the flow of things. Depends on how.
I don't know, actually. Is it?
Yeah. In
Is it?
football, in football,
Is it?
yeah.
What makes you say that?
Is it a little? It's more important than other sports. Well, football's less of a
Maybe, but
because football's less of a rhythmic sport than say basketball or
true.
baseball.
But there is the argument, and I know we're kind of switching a little bit of where we are, but there's the argument, at least with the college football playoff, that the bye teams are 1-7.
That's also true, but you also have to look at those matchups because if you have a dominant SEC team going to the home of a mediocre Big Ten or ACC team, then yeah, I would expect that road team to win. So
Well,
college football, I look at that, but not as hardly as I look at the NFL.
that was not the case. That was not the case this year.
Only one of or two of them won at home, right?
Well, none of the games after the bye, right? The bye games,
Oh
right?
yeah,
So
yeah.
the
Oh yeah, that's what I
round
meant. Yeah,
one,
yeah.
and then the
Yeah,
bye
that's what I
games.
meant.
Yep.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Yeah, yeah.
Only one of those teams won. It was Indiana against Bama. We can talk about how much Bama's a fraud, but I digress, right? But again, rest can sometimes be bad in every sport. If we were talking about baseball, I can tell you how bad rest is in baseball,
It's not good.
especially if you're on fire. But nonetheless, continue on.
Yeah, but would still say out of every major sport, rest is probably the most important in football when it comes to the wear and tear of the sport and how
Mhm.
less rhythmic it is in terms of compared to basketball or baseball. So I do think 2 weeks of rest will help for the Broncos, but I expect them to start slow. I wouldn't be surprised if this is another classic Broncos game from the season where, oh no, they're down 21 at half, and then all of a sudden they score 22 in the fourth quarter and win. So, actually, honestly, that's if I could, if I could bet on a way a game would go, that would be what I bet on because you definitely are going to have a slow start due to the rest, younger guys too, so they don't have a ton of playoff experience. That's also something to monitor. I just don't love this Bills team. Um, it just feels like Josh Allen's always having to play hero ball in these big games, and sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. So I think this Bills team, they could win any week. They could have lost last week to the Jaguars. I think they can easily lose this week as well. Granted, it's also in Mile High. I don't think that's that much of an effect on NFL athletes, especially in the playoffs. I'm sure the Bills are training at low oxygen levels in their facilities or whatever, but I think I'm gonna have to go with the Broncos. I just I like the defense a lot for the Broncos. I've sat up here and said it's top three in my opinion. At some points, it's been the best.
Mhm.
I don't know if you can say that now, but yeah, they're good. I think they'll have all the answers for this Josh Allen led offense, especially if you contain James Cook, make him drop or make Josh Allen drop back and his receivers make plays, especially with that Broncos secondary. I think they'll be just fine.
Um, you know, I told you my heart wants the Broncos, but I'm gonna go with my head here. I'm gonna take the Buffalo Bills to walk into Mile High and knock off the Broncos. First of all, I want to say this. I don't think there's a. I don't want to say that and be completely dead wrong.
Mm-hmm.
In my mind, there's a very high chance this game goes over the total point amount of 46 points. I'll give you a reason why. I think Josh Allen is going to expose his defense a little bit, and I think that Buffalo defense is not good. So I think we're going to see a little bit of points in Mile High. Um, Also, fun little fact here, Baron.
Mm-hmm.
We'll get to one of these games, but actually, all of these games, maybe you could say this about. I mean, the Sunday or the Saturday night game that is in Seattle. The two games after that, we have in New England and in Chicago, right?
Mm-hmm.
Three teams at home that are used to playing in the cold. Baron, did you know every single Broncos home game was 60 degrees or above this year?
Because it's not
So the
cold in Denver
Broncos,
yet.
the Broncos, I'll have to check the weather right now on Saturday. Denver weather on Saturday, it's going to be 36 degrees. And around 4 o'clock, it's going to be 35. So it's going to be near freezing. And one team has played in the cold a lot more than other team this year. And I like the Bills with a quarterback who has a chip on his shoulder, especially with all the narratives coming out. I think he's going to get it done. I'm going to take Josh Allen, and I'm going to take the Broncos to lose as the one seed at home and be a very disappointing and probably people could argue one of the worst one seeds if they lose this game in the last couple of years.
No, because remember when the Titans were the one seed and they lost immediately? They got demolished. That was the worst one seed in a long time. But I mean, this is yeah. If Josh Allen turns it up, and turns into Superman again, then yeah, they win this game. But
What's the issue with the Bills? You know what it is?
hmm,
The receivers.
yeah, they're not good.
Well, not even that. They have three receivers.
Yeah.
Tyrell Shavers, torn ACL. Gabe Davis, torn ACL against the Jaguars. Tyrell Shavers had 3 less snaps in the second half than Keon Coleman, and he played with a torn ACL in the second half. Okay? So that just shows you that Keon Coleman doesn't really have the confidence. Healthy scratches. All right?
Yeah, he's not good. I've you're getting healthy scratched. You're not very great. But
And I'm kind of surprised. I'm going to cut you off, but I'm kind of surprised. It's going to sound a little crazy, but I'm surprised the Bills didn't really go out there and maybe get a free
They
agent just
did.
for depth. Who they
Oh,
get?
Brandon Cooks. Yeah, they did.
Yeah, he's already there. Somebody that you can get for depth to get a wide receiver for, somebody that you can get
Is that not
because
what they did with Brandon Cooks?
Brandon Cooks has already been on the team.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, they did
Brandon
that.
Cooks
They
is
already.
one of
But that's what I'm saying. They already did that this season. They signed Brandon Cooks.
But this is what I'm talking about. Brandon Cooks is one of the 3 healthy receivers. You have
Yeah.
3 healthy receivers, Baron.
Yeah.
3. That means you can't. That means you can't run a 2 wide because you don't have 4 healthy guys. So go get yourself a 4th. I can't believe they didn't do that. So we're sitting here
Now,
with only 3 guys on the roster that's healthy.
yeah, I mean, I'm sure they'll activate people from their practice squad, but I bet you see a lot of two. I mean, the Bills already played the most, or not the most, but probably the most 2 tight end looks in the whole league. I mean, you have Dalton Kincaid and Dawson Knox. You're going to use those guys. So,
But again, here's what you're talking about. What happens if one of your wide receivers gets hurt? Your tight end gets hurt, right? Oxygen in the 5.280 is not high,
it's true.
right? People might be getting a little gassed. You need bodies out there. I mean, you do. How are we going to see like Ray Davis and Ty Johnson out in the slot, like the backup running backs? What are we going to do here? So
Maybe, yeah.
I know you have 3 tight ends on this roster that I can name because you have Knox, Kincaid, and Jackson Hawes. But I mean, that's it, right? That you have 7 weapons as receivers, 6 as receivers. Just you had to go out there and get someone, and you didn't, and that makes me a little scared. But I've put my mind, and I'm taking the ability of Josh Allen, who I did say is not a top 3 guy. So I'm trusting my non-top 3 guy to go out there and get the job done.
All right, we'll see who prevails. The war for the plains, the Great Plains out there in Denver, right? But we'll move on. Seahawks 49ers in Seattle. A
Open it up,
little
Aaron.
Western clash right there.
Open it up.
Um,
Crack it open. He's
um,
thinking. I can give you my thoughts because I've thought about this game for a while.
I just
Do
don't.
me,
I don't think because again, the 49ers won very narrowly last week to the Philadelphia Eagles, who, from my interpretation, were handicapped, and we don't need to get back into all that. If you can watch last episode to understand that. This Seahawks offense does not have a handicap. In fact, Clint Kubiak, like we already mentioned, is up for head coaching gigs. So he knows what the fuck he's doing. This has been one of the best offenses in the league throughout the entire season. Yeah. This isn't a like I said, this isn't a whimpering handicap team that the 49ers are playing. This is a real football team, and I think the real football team is going to play better than the beaten up one.
Baron, Seahawks and 49ers played in week 1 in Seattle.
Mm-hmm.
The Niners came out and they won that game.
I remember because you know why?
Why is that, Baron?
I've said on this podcast and said the Seattle Seahawks had a bottom 3 defense in the league and that they would not get the playoffs this year.
You did.
Mm-hmm.
And that was probably one of the coldest takes we've had.
Yep.
That's okay. At least, I can applaud you because at least you stand up and you admit it, right?
Mm-hmm.
That's what happens, and I respect you for that.
Von Witherspoon
Seahawks,
still sucks, though.
Week 18, they go to San Francisco, Santa Clara. They knock off the Niners, right? They got the number 1 seed, right? You have Jackson Smith and Jigba, which people are arguing is the best wide receiver in the league this year.
Mm-hmm.
You have the power duo of Kenneth Walker and Zach Charbonnet, Sam Darnold, top 5 in passing. You've got, on the other side, a really good defense. Really stepped it up. You're in the 12th man. You're against Brock Purdy, Christian McCaffrey, no George Kittle.
Nope.
Torn Achilles. So Jake Tunges will be out there.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe I have not seen the injury designation for Ricky Pearsall. He might be back. I'll have to look at that. But again, Jawan Jennings, right?
Mm-hmm.
You got a couple names out there. I'm forgetting what was it? Demarcus Robinson absolutely torched the Eagles in the wild card round. 2 division rivals. They say it's hard to beat a team twice. Well, both teams are looking to knock off their respective opponents twice. Baron, every game in the playoffs, except for this one, is a 3.5 or 4 point spread or less. This one is sitting at a 7 or 7.5, wherever you look at it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna tell you this right now.
Mm-hmm.
I am confident the San Francisco 49ers walk
Cover.
out as winners.
Oh, okay.
Walk out as winners. Plus 290. They go into Seattle, right? And here's why I like the Niners. You might have been saying the Eagles played handicap, right?
Mm-hmm.
They played handicapped. Yet the Niners still went into one of the toughest places to play. So they already accustomed to that and knocked off a good, solid team. I'm telling you, the Eagles are a good team, especially,
They're a good.
especially,
They're a good defense.
especially,
Yeah.
especially putting up 23 points against that defense,
There you
right?
go. Yeah.
Thank you. That defense. Okay. We
Mm-hmm.
can talk about how Kev and we agree Kevin Patullo is part of a group that probably creates really bad decisions, aka terrorists. We can agree. But
Not only
still,
that, he's mentally challenged. He doesn't know what's going on around
but
him.
still,
Yeah.
but still, we can say this
Mm-hmm.
that Robert Saleh put in a great clinic against a talented Eagles offense. Not good, but talented. He put some good schemes out there, and with a injured 49ers lineup, he has progressively got it done and done and done week in, week out.
Mm-hmm.
Christian McCaffrey. I
Mm-hmm.
might see a lot of touches for that guy because I know George Kittle, but I think Brock Purdy with Kyle Shanahan, and I think Kyle Shanahan is the king of divisional road wins. He is amazing at getting divisional road wins. Once we get to the conference championship and Super Bowl, it's a little bit different. But when you get to the wild card divisional, Kyle Shanahan cooks. You're talking about the Seahawks offense. Sam Darnold right now cannot throw without pain. He got that oblique injury that lists him as questionable. He said he's going to play. There's almost 0% chance he doesn't play. But in practice and in the press, he said he can't throw without pain. You're against Mike McDonald. Shout out my boy. Love you. But again, first time in the playoffs, if I'm not mistaken, for McDonald. So we're talking about experience here. Shanahan, multiple Super Bowl appearances. Robert Saleh, great defensive coordinator against the young guns. And you know me, it's bitten my butt a little bit, but I love taking experience over youth. I'm going to take the Niners as the big upset win this week.
Yeah, I like experience over youth as well, but not when this team is this injured. Again, they're not playing a handicap team; they're playing a real team. So I think the real team's going to handle business. I don't look at that Week 1 game with any significance, just based on the fact because the Patriots lost in Week 1 to the Raiders. I think at this point, Week 1's almost insignificant to what we see on the field at this point. Also, if you look at those teams from that point, the Seahawks have only gone up and the 49ers have only gone down. I think if you want to look at a more recent matchup that tells the tale for this game, you have to look at that Week 18 game. And I think that was considered a playoff game. That's a playoff atmosphere. Winner gets the 1 seed, the bye. Also a divisional game in Santa Clara, 49ers, and score a touchdown. Yeah, and I know that this 49ers defense held that Seattle defense to 13 points. But again, that's in Santa Clara. I think this offense is going to get going and score a lot more points at home in Seattle. And you mentioned Robert Saleh, great defensive mind. Again, his opponent this time isn't brain dead. Clint Kubiak is a very good offensive coordinator. I think he wins that battle, actually. I think he will outcoach Robert Saleh. And then, yeah, you mentioned Kyle Shanahan and his record. It's very impressive, but at the end of the day, I think the when a coaching's damn near even or not significant enough to where one coach can pull ahead, then it comes down to the talent on your roster, and the talent on the Seattle roster vastly outweighs the talent on that 49ers roster. So for those reasons, I'm going to have to pick the Seattle Seahawks.
You talk about the matchup between Robert Saleh and Kubiak, and I find it very fascinating. In that Week 18 game, we can talk about it. Seahawks had 360 total yards of offense. But what matters the most, Baron?
Mm-hmm. Is putting it
Whether
in
you
the
can
end
put
zone. But
putting up points,
I think
right?
it's
And neither team could do it.
That's right. But I think it's also easier. I think red zone becomes a lot easier when you're at home. It's easier to communicate. It's easier to read. So I just expect a better. And again, I might not see it, and then I'll be sitting here talking and eating my words. But as of right now, I expect a much better offensive performance in Seattle from that team than I did in Santa Clara.
Do you know Brock Purdy's record in the playoffs? I would just think it's pretty solid,
It
right?
is probably
Uh,
pretty good.
I'm gonna slash the conference championship loss on him because he injured his elbow
I didn't even
in
know
the
we were
first
counting
quarter,
that.
right? We are because technically he started the game, so it's gonna count as a loss. But he injured his elbow. I mean, immediately. So I don't want to count against him. Sam Darnold, very limited playoff experience, right? Never won a game in the playoffs, right? His only playoff game being him getting absolutely demolished by that Rams defense last year
Mm-hmm.
with the Minnesota Vikings.
Yep.
So it just makes me a little bit worrisome that this team is led by such youth, by such new energy, right?
Mm-hmm.
When you play a division rival with that experience, I'm going to lean on the experience, and I'm going to lean on the Niners to get it done in another tough environment.
So you're saying Brock Purdy's going to take over and change the game?
I'm not actually.
Well, that's
I'm taking a complete different direction. And what I said a little bit before, Christian McCaffrey had 22 yards, 24 yards rushing in week 18.
mm-hmm.
But I think McCaffrey, it may not be rushing, right? I think
Mm-hmm.
he's only hit 100 yards rushing in maybe 2 games this season. But that's not what he does. It's all purpose yards is what he does, receiving and rushing. I expect him to have over 110 total yards, rush plus receiving. Give me a touchdown on the board for him as well. And the Niners walk out of Lumen with a victory.
Well, someone else is going to have to help him out if you think the Niners are going to win from that stat line. Because you got to remember, I mean, against the Eagles, they scored how many points?
23?
Yeah, and they had one goal-to-goal drive. So that's just my point. Or yeah, I just think last week you think they played this great team, they really didn't. They went up against a good defense that Kyle Shanahan outsmarted, and this week it will be different. Moving
All
on
right.
to back to the AFC, where the Texans are taking on the Patriots, where these head coaches have gone up against each other a couple times in the playoffs. Kind of a little deja vu for them, except now
I know,
they're
right?
holding the clipboards. So break it down, Brooks. Who is coming out of this one with the win?
I think I already actually said it was coming out with the win in this game, and actually in our last episode. And
Yeah.
nothing has changed about my mind. I think the Houston Texans are the Chargers 2.0, right? And I think that matches up very well for the New England Patriots. I think the Texans defense is better than that Chargers defense.
Light years.
Yeah, we can
But
agree that.
but
I think the Texans offense is worse than the Chargers offense.
yeah,
Right?
much
We
worse.
can both agree. Perfect. Perfect. And so I think although that Chargers game was not very good offense from both sides, I think we'll see a little more scoring actually from the Texans. But I still think that Drake May and company are still one of the toughest teams to beat. We can talk about that week schedule all you want, but they proved it against Los Angeles. It's in Foxborough. You have Vrabel calling plays. I just don't think the Texans are chiseled out to make a conference championship as well. Um, I like Drake May. I mean, I've already made my points in the last episode, but I can make them here again. I think this could be a big game for Hunter Henry. He had a touchdown catch last week. I think the only touchdown of the game, if I'm not mistaken.
Mm-hmm.
And I like Hunter Henry. I think he's a very solid tight end and option for you to have. I think we saw Drake May use like 6 different receivers last week too. You have a good amount of depth that can make plays, but I think the defense is going to step up for the Patriots again, especially because CJ Stroud has no Nico Collins, right? It is a long shot for Nico Collins to play. I'm not going to tell Stephen A. Smith who the next receiver up is for the Houston Texans because it could lead to a tragedy.
Legacy game.
True. Legacy game. You know, all I'm going to say is Drake May is going to lead the New England Patriots back to the conference championship because they're the most spoiled fans ever. Give me the New England Patriots. I know, and I think both of us will be rooting for the Texans.
Yeah, Boston fans don't deserve anything. They're the worst. God. I mean, between the Red Sox, Patriots, and the fucking Celtics, like, how much more obnoxious could you possibly be?
Didn't even say the Bruins either.
Yeah, who the fuck even cares about that? Yes. Something just tells me this game's going to be 3-0.
No.
Yeah.
No.
I really do. I really think it is. Or no, it's going to be 7-3. Texans win by a pick six.
Okay. Come back, Baron. Come back.
Okay, this is what I'm actually thinking. This is what I'm actually thinking.
Let's talk seriously now.
Okay. Well, that was kind of serious, but just
wait. Actually,
all right. When the final score is 3, this is the easiest under I've ever seen in my entire life. When the final score of this game is 3-0 or 7-3, we're gonna revisit this episode. But, yeah, this Patriots defense is going to have to play lights out again, I think, if they want to win. I think they have the potential to play very, very good, but it just kind of feels like the whole season, I mean, they kind of feel like it's been on the same level as the Pittsburgh Steelers. So, obviously, I don't think that the Texans defense is going to score 14 points against this Patriots offense. But, yeah, I mean, I can see a world where the Texans win this game, but it's really we're gonna have to see a rookie performance from C.J. Stroud. I can't believe we're already saying this, but a vintage C.J. Stroud performance.
Vintage is crazy.
We need that, and if we get that, along with a great defensive game, Houston Texans will be moving on to the divisional round. But
conference championship, actually.
Yeah, that's what I meant. Sorry, but I just can't see that. I do think the Patriots get it done.
To me, this is my most confident lock in a week.
Okay, that's crazy.
Really?
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah.
You trust the Seattle Seahawks more than New England Patriots?
I was actually gonna say I kind of trust this next team a little more.
Ooh, okay. Now, should we? Are we done covering?
Yeah, we're moving on. Because fuck the Patriots. Yeah.
Should I give you the floor then? Because if you're gonna come swinging out like that, let's talk about it. Let's go.
Yeah, well, I mean this is my upset of the week. I like Chicago. I like the Spotlights by Snow. Right? That's what this game is. It's gonna be very big flurry in Chicago, and we've been talking about. Oh, it's not been cold in Denver all year. Or is the Denver Broncos, are they going to be ready for the weather? Let's talk about a team that actually has problems playing in the snow. Let's look at the Los Angeles Rams. Matthew Stafford, have you seen his track record in snow games?
I was going to bring that up in my synopsis.
It is terrible. I mean, we can look at last year's playoff game they played in the snow. Granted, it was a one-score game, but when it started snowing, kind of started to get away from them a little bit. But yeah, I'm still a big believer in this Bears team. I like the home field advantage. I mean, there's something like you don't come back from what they did last week against the Packers without having something special in this season. And those are the teams that usually go to the Super Bowl if you look back in years past. So I really like this team as a whole. I like what Ben Johnson's doing down there. In terms of rallying his guys and buying into this new Bears culture he's bought. I mean, you see it time and time again. They come back from these ridiculous leads, and they're all so happy to play with each other. I'm telling you, these are the teams that go on to win. You look at this Rams team. They've kind of been, I mean, at one point in the league, they were being talked about as the best team, or at one point in the season, they were being talked about as the best team in the league, right? Kind of feels like they've been trending downward since then. Not a plummet, but we're not sitting here saying this is the best team at football right now. We're not even saying that about the NFC. So, yeah, their defense worries me. We saw what that happened against the Panthers last week in Carolina. But we also saw we can't sit back and ignore what happened in Chicago last week. It took the Bears 3 quarters to score a touchdown in the playoffs. But I don't think we'll have that problem. In fact, I think we'll see an opening drive touchdown from the Bears. I think that is going to be Ben Johnson's biggest goal going into this game, is to get the offense going sooner. Because if this Bears offense can get going soon and this defense can hold and they jump out to an early lead, I don't think they'll ever give it up.
Baron. Matthew Stafford, 1-9, if I'm not mistaken, and like freezing temps or 40 degrees or less.
Mm-hmm.
Something really bad. You're talking about the weather in Chicago. It's going to be horrible.
Yep.
Caleb Williams and company, man. They're special.
Mm-hmm.
Matthew Stafford, Super Bowl champion, by the way. Remember that, Super Bowl winner, Matthew Stafford. I'll just come out and say it. I like the Rams in this game.
Fair.
I'm going to go with the Rams.
I can see why.
First of all, they were my Super Bowl pick, so I'm going to back my boys, right? I have to, back my boys. Actually, I don't want to call them my boys because they're an LA team. That means they're associated with the Dodgers. But first of all, again, experience weighs heavily towards Los Angeles side in this situation.
Mm-hmm.
That always contributes to my factor here, and who I'm going to choose. I think actually all 4 teams I chose, maybe minus the Broncos because Sean Payton's leading the helm for the Broncos. But if you just look at maybe the names on each team, so I probably chose all 4 more experienced teams, you could say. Nevertheless, back to my point why I like the Rams. We can talk about cold weather games. What helps in cold weather games, Baron? Well, I think a running game helps.
Running the football. But Brooks.
And I like Blake Corum. Blake Corum as a running back too has gotten much better in a sophomore season. And you got to think about this. How much is DeAndre Swift going to capitalize in the snow? Is it going to be more of a Monungai game here? Maybe for the Bears.
See, that's the point I'm going to lean on to is I like that running back room a lot more over in Chicago than I do in LA.
Really?
Now, you mentioned Blake Corum. He's on the up and coming. I'm fully right there with you. I think he's having a much better sophomore season. However, I just don't think him and the production of Kyren Williams surpasses that of Monungai and Swift. I think that's what the Bears lean on throughout the entire season. And yeah, I think that's especially when the flurry comes down on Sunday. This is the Sunday night game. It'll be spotlights, just snow. So I think they're going to much more lean onto that. I think their offensive line in terms of the run game is much better than the Rams. So yeah, I like position to position. So this is kind of my thing, right? I was looking, and this was before I knew any of the matchups coming out of the wild card round. I think if I looked at every single roster, all the coaches, just every team, if I inspected them, I think I would pick the Rams to win the Super Bowl. But I don't like this matchup for them. I think this is the one. This is their trap game. If they win this, then yeah, I think they go on to win the Super Bowl. I just don't like this snowy game in Chicago for them. I think this is the scenario that they are not built for. This is a air raid, beat you over the top, bend don't break defense kind of built team, kind of going up against a more ground and pound. We're gonna hit you where it hurts. Come and play football sort of team. So,
which is funny. Here's the exact point I'm going to make why I like the Rams. Just check the weather. 22 degrees. It says there's a 50% chance of snow, so I'm guessing probably maybe light snow.
Okay, so no flurry.
Maybe not heavy snow, but
that could change.
There will be snow involved. Weather. Hey, you can never predict weather.
No, you can't.
Baron, who's the number 1 wide receiver on the Rams?
Puka Nacua.
Do you know where Puka Nacua played at college?
BYU.
Played at BYU, But I'm not looking at Puka Nacua here. I'm looking at a guy who's played in the cold weather all the time. In Green Bay. Devontae Adams, who has played in big games and made big plays in this cold weather all the time. Right?
Yeah.
And if you maybe can't lean on your run game, I know Matthew Stafford. Oh my goodness, you suck in cold games. Holy crap, you do. But look at who you got. You got Puka Nacua. You got Devontae Adams. Shit, you can say Tutu Atwell if you
Oh
want, but
no,
I'm going
no,
to say
no,
those two
no.
guys. But
I feel like
but
I'm.
but the
Mm,
tight end room as well. I
yeah.
like their tight end room,
Okay.
right? Their tight end room is pretty solid with Higbee and
Mhm.
Parkinson.
Mhm.
So I'm going to lean on the Rams here. And if the run game doesn't help them, I think the pass game, if we're talking purely throwing the football here, right? In
Mhm.
the cold weather, I still like the Rams over the Bears. I still do,
All
right?
right.
Caleb Williams' feet is going to make more plays, and I think his arm is going to make more plays. I think Matthew Stafford, I trust that arm a lot more. I trust those receivers a lot more catching. I'm going to take the Rams here. The over-under in this game is sitting at 48.5, even with the weather. I'm going to take an under on that. I'm going to take an under on that.
Yeah. Me personally,
Him personally.
I don't think. I think we're at the point of Devonte Adams' career where I'm not expecting him to step up in this sort of game. I think you saw it kind of on the back half of this season. He's not the same Devonte Adams that everyone knows and loves. So I'm just saying, I don't think if the times get tough and you're down, that's not a guy that you could just start, I guess, target, I guess, on offense. So it'll be like, we need to get the ball in this guy's hands because they do that. I think it'll vastly backfire. But is there anything else you'd like to add about the NFL weekend as a whole, Brooks?
I actually want to add back to this Rams game. One more
All
point I
right.
like, actually. One more point I like. And you know me, Baron. What do I like?
Experience.
I love that. And I love my soccer analogies.
Oh, God.
I love my soccer analogies.
Mm.
When a team makes a comeback victory against a division rival, that is what we call an emotional victory. And Baron, what can your emotions do to you? They can drain you. And sometimes games like that can drain you.
But let me ask
Just
you
being,
this. What's the other things emotions can do?
they can elate you,
I was going to say
right?
fuel you, but yeah.
Well, elate, it's based elation. Yep, that's
Yeah.
basically the same thing. But I think that was again, a clawback victory where the Bears put a lot into that game. The
Mm-hmm.
Rams, the Rams were more not really coming back until the last seconds. They got it done. Again, Panthers as well. We talk about them being horrible. Good home team. Good
Yeah.
home team.
Yeah, yeah.
And they avenged a loss.
Mm-hmm.
I just like the experience. Give me the experience, baby. You know me. I'm all about the levels, the XP. Give me the experience.
Yeah, that's fair. But there's definitely guys all across the Chicago roster that have experience. Oh, you look like you just found out someone died. What happened?
Kyle Tucker just signed with the Dodgers. Oh my God, I hate this sport, dude. Oh my God, I hate this sport.
Now,
That's what I want to add about this.
now you know how I feel when Ranger
Go
Suarez
Bears. Fuck the Rams. I hate LA, bro. I hate LA.
and the city of Boston.
Let me just say this. All right, actually, this is gonna be pretty funny. I'm thinking about it. What's the Sunday night game?
Bears, Rams.
No, that's Sunday night. Yeah, Saturday night. Low
Oh,
key, let me just say this.
that's
I
it.
think the Bills are going to win. I'll probably be rooting for the Broncos.
That's the
I think the
afternoon
Niners.
game. Niners and
Yeah, I'm
Seahawks.
going
That's
through
the night
everyone.
game. Okay. All
I'm going through every game.
right.
I'm rooting I got the Niners to win. I actually really don't care who wins that game, to be honest. But I probably want the Seahawks to win. I got the Patriots in that game. I'll be rooting for the Texans. I got the Rams. I'll be rooting for the Bears. So, seems like I'm going against who I'm cheering for, probably. But fuck LA Dodgers. I'll just tell you that. Fuck the Dodgers.
Just the whole city. It sucks.
Yeah,
But yeah.
that's what I want.
Any other NFL related or LA related tangents?
Ooh, wait. I want to do a little NFL, little segue here.
Okay.
And this is a great offseason question.
Mm-hmm.
But, Baron, if there's one team who is not in the playoffs this season, right?
Mm-hmm.
Not the one that got eliminated, but didn't make it.
Yep.
That you can point to and be like, I would think next season they're a lock to make the playoffs. Who would that be?
Chiefs.
Ooh, let's see that. Maybe. Do you still trust the Chiefs with Mahomes coming off an ACL?
Yes.
The defense losing options?
Yes.
No receivers around them?
Yes. Because we don't know what the Chargers are going to look like next season. The Chargers. We're at the point with this. Well, I just feel like we're at the point with the Chargers organization. You have to wait till they play football. You can never tell what this team's going to be until they start playing football. The Broncos, I think, will still be very competitive next season. The Raiders, I think, will still have a year to go. We'll see how their draft looks and their free offseason. But despite them even still getting, I'm saying, imagine the Raiders nail their draft and have a great offseason. I think they'd still be at least a season away from being competitive for the division, at least. Sorry, I guess I should have said that. So yeah, if the Chargers have some issues with their personnel and the Chiefs make some moves. Again, I think this is a front office who generally makes the right decisions. And I think they're really, this year is just kind of the accumulation of that sort of contract or old players kind of hitting the end of their career, contracts just kind of piling up to where you can't really get anyone else. So I think they'll probably do a little mini retool this offseason, and they'll probably be right back where they are from last season. Probably not winning the Division 1 seed, but they'll probably make the playoffs wild card. I could see. I mean, they might win the division. It's the Chiefs. You never want to doubt Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid, so they could.
You never do.
Yeah, they might beat the Broncos twice next season. We don't know yet. So, but
it's true.
If you had to give me an NFC team, as hard as it is to say, it might be the Cowboys.
Ooh, okay. Whoa. You don't want to say that.
No, not at all. And I'm not saying.
I just want to clarify something. That's the team you hate the most, right?
Oh yeah, easily.
Okay, yeah.
Well, I guess sometimes you wouldn't think that because they're not relevant at that point in the season. Like at this point in time, I fucking hate the 49ers. Like I'm not even thinking about the Cowboys because they're not in the postseason. But yeah, exactly. Let's get that track rolling. But yeah, no. I think that is if they keep George Pickens. If they lose George Pickens, then no. CeeDee Lamb kind of took one step backwards this season. Whether that was George Pickens coming towards the organization, we don't know. But CeeDee Lamb also had drop problems throughout the year. So if you're a Cowboys fan, I don't think you're comfortable going back to only one like really good wideout in CeeDee Lamb after what you just saw this season. So. And they got to keep Javonte Williams. They got a big offseason they need to nail. They got to get a good guy in the defensive room as well. But if they get these things right, which they could, then yeah, this is a team that's in position to be competitive.
Okay. Maybe I'll do one AFC, NFC. I don't want to pick a Bale team like the Chiefs.
Yeah.
Because I kind of want to choose like then maybe that'd be an interesting choice. I'm gonna say I want to wait for who gets hired, but I want to pick the Ravens. I want to pick the Ravens to be the division winners next year.
That's not a good division.
That's not. The defense got much better in the second half of the season. I think that can help carry over, right? And I just think, okay.
Yeah. Well, now that I'm thinking about it, because
the Steelers to me are in a very weird situation.
You know what?
Right?
No. Here's the shout.
Don't say the Bengals. Don't say the Bengals.
Oh,
it's not.
Don't
even say the Browns.
Yep.
Don't even say the fuck.
Yep.
No, it's not.
Yep.
No, it's
yep.
not the Browns.
Yep. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. You know what? Here you go. This is a nothing agreed guarantee. The Cleveland Browns not only will be in the playoffs next season, they will be your 2026 AFC North division champs for the first time ever. Because think about it, right? And again, they do have to get the head coach right. Like, they can't just hire an idiot. But I like Shedeur Sanders. I'm going to come out and say it. I like Shedeur Sanders. We don't know if Lamar Jackson will be in this division come next season. We don't know if Joe Burrow will be in this division come next season. We have no idea who will be wearing the blue, red, and whatever the black star, whatever that fucking thing is for the Steelers next season. You look at that defense. Best in the division, in my opinion. They had a very good draft. So we'll see how these rookies look next season. I'm just saying, don't be surprised if the Cleveland Browns are competitive next season. To
No, no, no,
me,
no, 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 no,
to
no, no, no,
me,
no,
oh no, yeah, sorry. Don't be surprised if they make the playoffs next season. To
no, no, no,
me,
no. Stick your landing.
fine, win the division, whatever.
There you go.
Don't be
There you guaranteed it.
this to me out of every team in the AFC North is the most attractive destination in my eyes.
Okay. I'm gonna stick with my prediction of the Ravens winning that division and going to the playoffs. That's gonna be my AFC team. Particularly, I really don't see any shakeups in the AFC East. Just being honest,
Mm-mm.
I don't see any shakeups in the AFC South. To be honest,
Mm-mm.
I don't see any shakeups in the AFC West. So if I'm not choosing the Chiefs because I don't want to just have pick a male team, I'm gonna pick the Ravens. I think I'm the most confident in them winning the division. Now, if I swing to the South, Baron Burns, my goodness, it's taking so much out of me not to say it, and I really want to say it.
I already said it, so you have to say it. If you don't
What's the
say it, I'm
NFC?
yeah, NFC South. If you don't say it, I will.
I want to say the Atlanta Falcons.
No, don't say the Atlanta Falcons.
I want to say it, but I'm
It's
not
not.
going to
It's
because
not.
they're going to break my heart.
Say it.
So here's what I'm going to go with.
Say it.
I'm not going to the NFC. I'm not picking an NFC South team. The hell?
I am.
You're going to say New Orleans Saints, and you're going to shut up. All right.
No, because they
Here's
are.
what I'm going to say. No,
Kellen
they're not.
Moore. Kellen Moore.
Their defense
Mm-hmm.
had
Yep.
way too many holes.
Doesn't matter.
Now,
There's a
let's
draft to fix
swing-
that with.
Let's
Kellen
swing-
Moore will also win that
swing-
division next season. Let's go.
Swing over here.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I'm going to swing over here. Okay.
Yep. All right.
I'm taking the Lions. Lions
Okay.
go back
Yeah,
to the
there you go.
playoffs. That's probably a bail. I wanted to say the Giants, but I don't think
Oh
the
my
Giants make the
God!
playoffs
Shut the
next
fuck.
year.
Yeah,
I
they're
don't
they're a
think the Giants
draft
make the
they're a
playoffs
draft
this year.
away. They have their offensive line is offensive to the sport of football.
Exactly.
There's a reason Jackson Dart kept getting concussed. All right, any more NFL you would like to speak about before we segue to our very exclusive national championship coverage?
Ooh.
Brooks, unfortunately,
Let's
you will not be
rumor
there.
it in.
Well, unfortunately, Brooks will not be there in person since his Georgia Bulldogs did not make it. But actually,
Very smart through.
no SEC team in the national championship.
And I love that.
Mm-hmm. For the third straight year, we will see a non-SEC champion. But, Brooks, the question is, will we see a third straight Big Ten team
Baron
or not?
Burns. Baron Burns.
Mm-hmm.
There's a common adage.
Mm-hmm.
What is everything coming?
I don't know.
You've never heard that saying? Everything comes in threes?
Yeah, I have. I just need you to say it.
Everything comes in threes. So will it come in threes? My answer is abso-freaking-lutely. Oh my goodness. I have a very unpopular opinion. To be honestly, I like Mendoza. Signetti, I think is cool. I think Signetti gets not overhyped as in he's a overrated coach, but I think he just looks for like the tough quotes too many times. And like people are like Signetti's so cold, he has so much aura. Pisses me off actually. And I go to an SEC school, Baron, as you know, you named it Georgia Bulldogs,
Mm-hmm.
and I am an ACC truther
No,
in
God.
there. I defend the ACC like crazy.
I bet your classmates hate you.
Oh, they do.
Yeah.
They do because I bleed orange and purple, Baron. All right, so.
I'm not even an ACC truther, and my team's in
No,
there.
ACC. I will say this: the ACC is it the best conference? Not even close.
And college
But-
football is probably the worst.
But I think it's the most exciting conference because you never know who's gonna beat who each week in and week out.
I'd say it's only been exciting the last 3 years because Clemson hasn't been winning it.
Exactly. But we can say the exact same thing with other conferences. We can say, well, it's just Ohio State dominating the Big Ten. You know, in the last couple of years, it's shifted. You know, we can say, oh, it's just you could talk about the Pac-12, but that's not a thing anymore.
No, it's not.
Yeah,
So
I
yeah,
mean, we can talk about the Big 12, how it was dominated by Oklahoma and Texas for the most part, and then there would be the pop-up team here and there. And the SEC, we can talk about how Bama dominated for years and years and years, and Georgia's now dominating, right? So you can always talk about domination. Here we go, baby. Here we go. All right,
mm-hmm.
ACC truth. But I love Indiana in this game, and it all starts with one thing, and that's their offensive line. Their offensive line is, in my opinion, the best in the country, and I think that's really going to propel them to this victory. Fernando Mendoza is making great reads, absolute plays. I cannot believe I picked Oregon plus 3.5 in that game. Pisses me off.
Should.
Yeah, and that defense is built very well. Defense, this team is very experienced. Baron, there's a receiver on Indiana Williams. He played with Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. So this team is old. All right. This team has experience. They went out in the portal and they got their guys. And I'm going to take Indiana to upset, not upset as in terms of the favorites, but to upset the Miami fans in their own home stadium. And I think, you know what? I'm going to put this out there. I think it's going to be an Indiana home game.
It should. Do you know they have?
As in the crowd is going to be
No, that's
Indiana,
yeah,
right?
no. You know they have the largest alumni group in the whole country.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting. Um, that is a bold prediction, though. Just the national championship being in Miami,
Mm-hmm.
I guarantee you, probably half the tickets were. I bet the sites crashed after Miami beat whoever they beat in the semifinals. I don't even remember. No, they beat Ole Miss. That's right. Um, yeah. So I'm sure after they beat Ole Miss, I'm sure the ticket sites crashed for all those fans trying to buy national championship tickets, especially Miami fans down there. They can afford them. So, oh, what happened now?
Go ahead.
Okay.
I just read the numbers on the Kyle Tucker deal, and that's insane.
Yeah. Well, no salary cap will make you angry, Brooks. But
You want to take a guess at what his deal is?
is
You don't
it?
really don't know Kyle Tucker,
I really don't.
so you're not a big baseball guy.
I'm somewhat.
4 years. I want you to guess how much money.
Can I get a hint?
Sure, it's in the range of what could be a good hint here.
No. Okay.
Think a lot of money.
Okay. 400 million.
That's crazy.
Okay.
100 million a year is crazy. 240 million a year. $60
Okay.
million a year.
Alrighty.
Baron, I just want to say something. That is more than teams spend on their entire roster.
Oh, I know.
Like 60 million a year, bro. That's insane. That's insane. Oh my god.
This is why we need a salary cap in Major League Baseball. But we're talking about college football. Yeah. Give me the Hoosiers. I will never ever cheer for Carson Beck. I don't care what fucking conference he represents. That dude's a loser. So yeah, let's go. Mendoza, first overall pick. Let's put on a show for the Raiders. Cause boy, has he been showing out all postseason. But yeah.
Oh my god, I want to look it up. Wait.
What?
Wait.
Okay.
What is it called? Ball.
While he's doing that. Oh. Okay. Well, he's deep in
Are you
thought.
allowed to bet this?
Oh boy. Well, yeah, I think Indiana is, like you said, better offensive line. I like Curtis Signetti, whereas you think he's a little overhyped, doesn't have enough aura or whatever. But I like his approach to college football. I like his mentality is I don't need the best players. I just need players that work well with each other. And yeah, but at the same time, he is the complete embodiment of the college football portal era, and I hate that. So I guess I do have mixed feelings about him, but I do like what he's been able to do with what he's given. I think he is a winner, and he deserves a national championship a lot more than Cristobal does. So, anything else you'd like to add? I know you're looking something up, but and we also
I want to add this before we go off the air.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to see if anybody offers this.
Okay.
I want to see if anybody offers the first person to thank because
Mendoza will do God.
Yeah, it's a huge
staple. He might do his teammates first.
He's going God. No, he's God.
You think?
It's a huge staple in the Super Bowl that you can bet that the MVP of the Super Bowl, who is the first person they thank. I remember losing one because it was actually last year's Super Bowl. No, 2 years Super Bowl ago.
You bet Patrick Mahomes was gonna thank his wife.
No, I said he was going to thank God, and he thanked his teammates first. What an agnostic loser. Thank the heavenly Christ. All right.
Well, no, and I'm a devout Christian, but I get thanking your teammates first.
I understand as well.
Yeah.
But me and AJ sat in freaking Shaletter Dining Hall, and we looked at Patrick Mahomes' last 6 thanks speeches, like in the regular season, the playoffs, and he thanked God every single time. And it was plus 100. We're hammering it, and he thanks freaking teammates. So,
well, if Miami wins, you can go ahead and bet that the first people that get thanked are going to be the strippers.
The first people to thank are Kodak.
or it's gonna be God, but for the wrong reasons.
Yeah.
Thank you,
my God.
Thank you, God, for bringing all this money and success in my life and all these bad bitches and women. That's what it's gonna be, not the right reasons. But anything else you'd like to add before we sign off for tonight?
No.
Yeah, we forgot
to. The Dodgers, man.
Yeah. Fuck LA and fuck Boston. Yeah, I forgot to do an intro, so we'll just hit them with the outro. But
I did say that to you. I was like, "Oh, we're doing no intro," and they're just like, "Oh, let's go into it." I was like, "All right, let's do it."
Yeah, I think I kind of zoned out. Night recordings are a little harder for me, but no, I'm not that, not yet. But no, I am exhausted though. But sorry.
You're good.
Anything else you want to add?
Just my love and affection towards baseball minus the Dodgers.
And the Red Sox. And the Yankees. And
honestly, the Red Sox are not an issue because the Red Sox went on like a huge drought of winning. They went like 88 years without winning.
Yeah, but just watch. They're gonna start winning again. Now the Celtics are up, the Patriots are up, the Bruins are up.
Yeah. Well, technically you. Oh no, never mind. You have Jesus. I don't know what I'm talking about.
Yeah. Oh, and the Mets.
I was about to say, oh yeah, fuck the Mets. I was about to say, and fuck the Phillies. Fuck the Phillies.
Well, then we can throw the Braves in there too.
No, the Braves are fine. Fuck the Phillies.
Nah, fuck the Braves. Trash ass organization.
Fuck the Phillies. When's the last time you won? What's the last time you won? World Series?
You know what? It's fine.
Exactly.
All you have in life, all you have in life are the Braves.
I've won one major championship in my life, and it's that one, and I will always hold that against you.
Okay, well that's.
I have more recent than you.
All right, fine. You want to start talking about Super Bowls?
No. That's the only one I have. So let's just keep it on that. All right.
I know, but you talk about that, and then we're gonna start talking about the bowl.
No.
52 is such a great year. But can you remind me what happened the year prior?
That's like going to a Browns fan, like, do you want to talk about Super Bowls? Well, obviously my team hasn't fucking won it.
So stop sitting here and saying fuck the Phillies.
The Phillies aren't in football; they're in baseball.
I know.
I'm not saying fuck the Eagles.
I know.
Actually,
exactly. Hold up. Let me find the picture. Let me find the picture. You can
literally our text background.
I know. This is Apple. Thank you so much for adding this. That's a Nick Foles jersey, by the way. The GOAT for everyone that's not watching.
Barry, before we sign off, do you want to explain to the audience why I was wearing that jersey?
I don't even think I remember why you were. I don't think I can.
Remember why I wore that jersey. What happened that night for me to get mad to wear an Eagles jersey?
I was not sober, so I'd really not apologize, but I don't think I remember.
Matter of fact, actually, okay, now before we sign off, I have something to play, some video to play into the microphone.
Oh, good God.
Because Baron does not remember, so we're going to help him remember. And we're going to show the audience what happened. For that picture to happen, we're going to show the audience what happened. This is what happened.
Mm-hmm.
Not JJ.
That was my reaction. This is my reaction to Michael Penix Jr. being selected.
You need to. No, you need to remind me because it'll take me too long to look for it, and we really do need to sign off. So next episode, I'll find it. I have the live reaction of me to when the Eagles drafted Jalen Reagor because I thought they were going to take Justin Jefferson, and it's 10 times better than that.
Can you text that to me after this episode?
I've definitely shown it to you, but yeah, I'll send it to you.
I don't remember that, to be honest. I don't remember that.
I literally had nothing. That was the first time in my life I was speechless, like utterly speechless.
So I always now record my reaction to Falcon draft picks, which I guess I don't need to this year. But I recorded my first round draft pick reaction, and I was happy to see her. Jalen Walker, James Smith Jr. I was happy with, and they've been pretty good. And Michael Penix I wasn't happy with, and there's debates out there.
Swear, bro, better not touch down in the bins, bro.
You better not touch down in the bins, bro. Best video in Falcons Twitter history, bro. The Falcons timeline that night. Oh my god, I was so active. It was insane. Oh my god.
Fuck, bro. Swear you better not touch down in the bins.
I will say my history of draft picks before
somebody got killed.
I wasn't I was a very big fan of Kyle Pitts' pick. That hasn't worked out. The Drake London pick I was okay with. That's kind of worked out. I was not happy with the Bijan pick. Like, not pissed, but I was like, we already have Tyler Algier.
I was pissed.
I wanted Jalen Carter,
and I wanted Bijan Robinson.
So I'll take Bijan Robinson.
I still want Bijan Robinson. Because we might not.
All right, well,
Loki Jalen Carter can leave. All right.
Let's call that episode.
Yes.
That'll be our episode. Nothing agreed. Who do y'all having winning the division games? And also let us know in the comments.
And the national championship.
National championship, and also in the comments as well. Who do you think in the AFC and NFC who did not make the playoffs this year is going to make it next year? We'll do that more in the offseason. Until next time, this is Nothing Agreed. Peace.